Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am really excited to showcase a 10v10 for the Galactic Divide mod. For those of you who don't know what Galactic Divide is, it is a Star Wars mod for WARNO. So you do have a lot of mixed timelines in this mod. You have the Empire, the Rebellion, the Separatists, the Clones, the Umbaran faction. There's quite a bit of different things that you're going to see throughout the timeline of Star Wars. But overall, it's a really fun mix, which just makes it really cool visual and gameplay-wise. I'm going to go over some of the tactical side of things, and where you guys will see the most combat is really through this middle line. So we have Alpha, Charlie, India, and Foxtrot, which will be the most contested areas, as well as this little city here. So we have Venator coming in here with a striker. Early on, doing some recon, spotting some of the clones transport ships, LAAT. Some juggernauts coming in there below. Nice little overview here. Hyena bombers from Ricky Bobby. Already up in the air. And you guys see the enemy has quite a few of different aircraft up in the air. You can kind of see that these torpedo bombers are really good against the airships that you guys are going to see. And there you go, some hyena bombers attacking some recon from Ricky Bobby against Martin. So right now we're seeing Martin and Smelly Pickle try to take Alpha. Got a lot of recon coming from Bear. And we also have Bio encroaching on Charlie. Strong push right now by Jack O'Neill. A Juggernaut getting taken out here. Well, this is very interesting. Gozanti, it's a transport ship, but it does have quite a few weapons. And unfortunately, we did have a couple of desinks, so a few players left from Red 4 side there. You're seeing a lot of infantry here from Hook and Alex, taking this town here on our right flank with Foxtrot. And of course, you're seeing Victory 1 coming from Venator. And these are no joke. So this is probably the biggest attraction coming from this mod is all the airships. Just absolutely phenomenal. And they're pretty hard to take out. You have to have quite a bit of torpedo ships or good AA on the ground that's strong enough to take this out. So basically what they're flying around right here. Now if you can have airships and support them with some kind of torpedo ships, any way you can support them to make them last longer. The most effective thing that we've seen is people just, there you go, you're seeing Jack O'Neill try to just shoot, I think. I'm not sure if they were targeting the Victory 1 here. But as you guys can see, anytime it does strikes on the ground, it's like a bombing run. A pretty severe one at that. There you go, you're seeing some missiles fired. Really intense for, there you go, some torpedo from the Y-Wing. You guys see the damage. But again, if you get too close, it's going to shoot down your torpedo ship. You got to learn how to shoot them from a distance. So we do have two Venators coming in from Dread Hurdle, trying to even some things out, and they're paired. It's a lot of points, by the way. It's about 900 points per. So it's pretty intense. There you go. See the hyena bombers attacking here. You guys see some of the AA there too. It's going to be an intense fight here. So two Venators against one, but they're also getting hit by hyena bombers too. There goes the first Venator down. So you guys see he's getting double teamed by a Venator and a Victory 1, which is a really bad case scenario. He's gonna go down. So in this mod, this is why these are so significant. If you can use these properly, it really will help you win the match. Victory 1 still going very, very strong. Taking out my tank there. There comes a missile. Nice shot, but not with a lot of effect there. I feel like the clones need a little bit stronger torpedo fighters. Book and Alex are doing pretty well over here. Repelling an enemy. We had a really intense standoff in this India region. It was constantly being taken back and forth between us and the enemy. Now you're seeing Jarto pushing in with a lot of infantry. A lot of droids coming in here. So they got a lot of support. There's a TIE fighter from Marshall. Taking out that LAAT recon. Big explosion over there. Something just hit that. But you've seen Jarto push in pretty hard into the zone, trying to push out Jack O'Neill here. These are really good against tanks and infantry. Very strong. You can see some of their stats right here, if you're interested. You got 20 front, 14 side, 24 penetration at about 5,000 meters, so that's very good. So I think the main problem that we found, very interesting. Marshall's very aggressive with his TIE fighter here, coming in at these ground units here. They've kept that Victory 1 very safe, surprisingly. Unfortunately, we didn't do a good job at pushing that away. Let's take a quick look here. And there you go. TIE fighter in trouble. Still going hot. Going out strong. There you see the AV-7 clone artillery. Doesn't have the greatest range, but some good HE and suppression. C-95 headhunters from Alex. We needed a little bit more of that earlier with the Victory 1 encroaching on us. As you guys can see, there's a lot of explosions happening here. We are pushing hard on Charlie. A lot of infantry from Gamer64. So we got the 501st Legion coming in here. Pretty intense fight right now. Looks like they're going against some battle droids here. B1 battle droids getting pushed back right now. And of course, Victory 1 coming in and just erasing units as it does. Now this thing is cool. LAATC. You guys, I'm sure you guys have seen this before. I know they used to have a cool Lego set that you could attach. One of those ATHSTs. And now, of course, you have Wesley coming in with the Providence, which, by the way, is way too strong. It's better than the Venator for sure. The clones would have to call in some pretty big stuff to challenge the Providence. And this thing was a problem all game long. Gotta see why that is. And of course, I have to show off the new XR-85 tank droid. This thing is crazy and very annoying, and very strong. It's basically a moving castle with guns. It also causes a lot of traffic. So, yeah, you can see the massive guns on this thing, and this thing caused us quite the problem. The UTML-80 coming in here. Got one of my IFTXs firing off at the enemy. And of course, what do we have there? The enemy also has their own IFTXs. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit confusing with different timelines. Enemy has pretty similar stuff to us. And you have the B1 droid tank. Also a classic, which you guys all know. You can literally hear those explosions. And I think we were targeting the tanks that were here. Bit late. And again, you have Theodorol firing off some long-range artillery at Dread Hurdles ATFAs. Some AA. One getting hit pretty hard. Gotta love the sound of the LA-80. Got some recon infantry coming in. So it looks like Smelly Pickle and Martin have done a good job of keeping Wombat and Ricky Bobby out of this zone here. Looks like their infantry is getting hammered with artillery right now. We got TK troopers right here. And that's from the Outer Rim Pacific Division going against some Phase 2 clones from the 501st. Could have a good engagement here. And I would, if I took a guess, I think the 501st would win that engagement. And they clean up pretty nice. There you go. Clearing that forest here. You also have Ricky Bobby pushing up with pretty damaged B1 battle droids. And you have Smelly Pickle coming in quick to get rid of them. We got a strong IFTX, though, firing at the Phase 2 clones, taking a lot of damage here. This thing is pretty intense. And it did take out those clones. You got an AT-AT coming in. This thing looks kind of wonky. So yeah, some of the animation isn't amazing, obviously, but that will change in the future. Thing has good penetration, but not a lot of range. And these do have the anti-tank missiles, so gotta be careful there. Thing looks very interesting with 4 legs instead of 6. And Venator also got a desync. Venator coming in for me is getting hammered by those freaking... I mean, look at this. One torpedo ship just took like half my life. I think that has to be toned down a little bit. I don't think one ship would do that much damage. You guys see that massive tower? We're trying to take it out. And we do. We do take it out. There you go. We just got hit again with something very big. Not sure what that was. We're trying to do a bunch of damage, as much damage as we can before we get destroyed. Clean up some infantry. Now, if you do have good recon, you do quite a bit of damage. I would focus more against infantry than heavy armored vehicles. Smaller tanks, but actually these HML AAs are very resistant to the Venator. It's kind of wasted ammo there. There you go. 2 Hyena bombers basically undoing my aircraft, with a 3rd coming in and finishing it off. And it's done. Sad day. We have lost a Venator. Not before we do a bombing run. So we did a lot of damage to the enemy here. And this little tower here was fairly annoying, so taking it out was a big help. Got a push from Bio here. Yeah, this was a bad push by us. We didn't realize how much anti-tank infantry, and here's the shuttle coming in, doing a ton of damage. Yeah, that fire rate is a bit absurd, I would say, with a lot of damage. I think that fire rate needs to be toned down. It's like a shotgun on automatic. Unfortunately, I lose my juggernaut here too. And that's all coming from a transport ship, which is a little bit ridiculous in my opinion. Yeah, this thing is actually quite menacing. And then you have Z95s coming in from Bio. Massive squadron here. Try to take out the Providence. And that Providence does go down. Magnificent. The Soviet Union taking a lot of fire right now. Also goes down. So Bio just took out 2 of the enemy's airships. That was actually quite awesome. Big fight though from Ricky Bobby too. And Bio. But we do also have Wesley's Providence coming in here just in time with some fighter support from Marshall. So this is really intense. Big air battle for sure. O'Neill also coming in with the Acclamator, which the Providence can target from all the way out here. That is very impressive. And there goes down that ship. Killing a unit in the process. So we were basically holding on to dear life in Charlie and also in India. We'll say that Poodle Dog did a really good job with Alex in this right flank here. I think they had Foxtrot for the majority of the game, which is great. Smelly Pickle and Martin did a good job of also holding on to Alpha for a good majority of the game. Yeah, look at the Providence, just the leading units. That was the thing that was so hard about the Providence. Anytime we got upper hand in India, he would just kind of come around and just erase all of our stuff. I did try to bring up these SPHA massive anti-airship AA, but the problem is these take way too long to aim. I think the aiming time needs to improve. It takes about 9 seconds to aim. I don't mind the reload time, it's more of the aiming time is just terrible for these to even be effective, and I would say they need longer range too. Y-Wing dropping bombs. Did some good damage there for sure. We have Jarto and Marshall hanging out in this area and in India in the very corner. And my Artie just took that unit out, which was pretty good. We do have some intense fighting in a city. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Obviously I know that this map is not Star Wars, but there will be custom maps coming out very, very soon. You have the Acclamator coming in from Jack O'Neill, doing crazy damage to infantry, which is awesome. You need to hit this, though. And there you go. So this is Jarto coming in with a bunch of Hyena bombers taking out the Acclamator. Very sad, sad day. You see all the destroyed ships, a lot of Venators, Providence, Magnificent. And of course, you have the C-99 landing craft, which can also be pretty menacing. HST just got taken out by the enemy. Not much going on the left flank. A little bit of engagements here from Smelly Pickle, taking out some droids. We've had a stalemate here for a while. I think the enemy's trying to get some infantry reinforcements before they push on us. Stable here in the middle. And this is where it's very interesting. Bio pushing up with some infantry here. And again, this is the Lambda shuttle being absolutely crazy with the fire rate. I think that definitely has to be turned down. That's very OP. I mean, units don't stand a chance. That's crazy. Look at that. That thing alone could wipe out probably all the infantry here if it wasn't for AA support. Artie coming in though. Nice, taking out the recon. Enemy is now challenging. Marshall's challenging India. Charlie's being contested. We do have a +2, so we're at 1230. We have a upper hand, I would say, for now. But the enemy does have a really nice, I would say, formation of torpedo bombers. They still have the Providence that they call in and out at strategic times, which is tough to deal with. So some good teamwork on their part. That's something I think that we struggled is to support our airships with also torpedo ships. But I think overall we did pretty good supporting each other where help was needed. A Hellfire droid tank coming into the city. It's getting hit pretty hard right here. cube. Curious to see how long this thing lives. You guys see this city's been through a lot. And there it goes. Gotta show this thing off. Marshall, this is the Kazanti. Dropping off the AT-AT, massive transport ship. Got a little bit of the Empire coming in here. That this is a RTS game. Seen the AA. Routing the Kazanti. Here goes the Lambda. Look at that. Hitting the Venator here. I think the fact that it's even damaging the Venator is kind of insane. But here you go. Like I was saying, I think these need to be toned down too. Their fire rate is kind of insane. I don't know if the clones have anything that would match that. They're able to destroy our airships a lot faster than we can theirs. So that's also kind of a mismatch there for sure. I mean, look how cool this is. This is awesome. Very cinematic.